Hey guys, Louie here. I have an unboxing of cast silver bars today. These bars come to us from the UK, from the Royal Mint, specifically Royal Mint Bullion, which is different than the Royal Mint proper. RoyalMintBullion.com sells bullion, just as you might think. I was able to pick these up upon a dip in the exchange rate. The pound-dollar exchange rate is among the lowest. I don't know when it's been this low ever. And then I was able to wait. Once I funded the account, I was able to wait for a dip in silver and get the best price on the bullion. But unfortunately, my bank fees and exchange fees to get the money into pounds were very high. So the silver itself wasn't completely out of whack for the uniqueness of these bars, but the fees, my bank fee alone was $45, and then they also take 3 basis points off the exchange rate. So I wasn't happy about that, but I am happy to have these really special bars from Royal Mint Bullion, RMR. Not to be confused with the Royal Canadian Mint. This is the English Mint. RMR, Royal Mint Bullion, is the reincarnation of Rothschild Mint, and I'm going to do a little piece on Rothschild Mint right after this if you'd like to know more. But you just don't see these in the U.S., primarily because in England they charge a 20% VAT tax. So while they make these available to the population, no one in their right mind would buy them and pay an extra 20% on top of already high bullion prices. But I think there's a collector value to these, so that's why I got them. And here we go. Oh man, look. Wow. So there it is. This is wrapped in plastic, and I am going to take one out of the plastic. There's the back. RMR, 0.999, 500 grams, so that's a half a kilo. And the whiteness is on the plastic. These bars are so rare that even though they've been in production for 2 years almost, I got an A, that's an A104 number. So that's pretty cool, huh? That's only another 100 people has this bar? That's crazy. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, baby. 2.5 kilos of English silver. There they are. Eat your hearts out, bullion boys. Louie's into the bullion. And what we'll do right now is let's go ahead and bust one of these out of the plastic because, boy, I really think we ought to polish this up and let you really, really see it. You know what? I'm going to take this one out of the plastic, which I shouldn't do, but I'm going to take it out. I'm going to polish it and let you see it. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I have opened up and polished one of those bars. And I thought, what better to put those bars in than my very own Royal Mint box. I have this left over from one of the 5-ounce Britannias that I had been shipping back and forth to the UK for quality problems. I kept the box every time they shipped me a bad one, and they shipped me a new box with the new one. So I have some extra of these Royal Mint boxes, but check this out. This is the way to keep your bullion. How do you like that? Nice, huh? Okay, and inside are my bars, and here is what she looks like, all polished up, taken out to dinner. And I would love to take her out to dinner. Look at that. Number A104, 2015, 500 grams. Am I getting all that? Here is the back, just a cast back, but nice and clean. Nice and clean, wonderful weight, RMR logo. There it is. Okay, I hope you guys like, and stay tuned for some history on the Rothschild Mint. Wow, beautiful bar, beautiful. All right, I'm back with some information on the Royal Mint. The Royal Mint Refinery, RMR brand. This is from January of 2015. The Royal Mint is to bring about the return of a world-renowned bullion brand after an absence of 47 years, expanding its bullion range to offer gold and silver minted bars bearing the historic marquee of the Royal Mint Refinery. This is the first time since 1968 that customers will have the opportunity of owning newly minted precious metal bars bearing the prestigious RMR initials, and the first time ever that they will have been available directly to the public from the Royal Mint. The Royal Mint Refinery marquee dates back to 1852. Operated for more than 100 years by N.M. Rothschild and Sons, it became an established brand with a strong reputation for handling much of the gold and silver bullion sent to London from across the globe for processing under the RMR label. Royal Mint Refinery became a trustworthy name that survived the First and Second World Wars and served an ever-evolving bullion market until production ceased in 1968. The Royal Mint Refinery brand has now been revived by the Royal Mint, an organization with a history stretching back over 1,000 years. And there's a little more about the Royal Mint. They're going to be doing 9999 gold or 39 silver. Likely to appeal to customers looking for a cost-effective way of buying bullion, unless they live in the UK and have to pay the VAT on the silver. So here's a little pause. I'm going to go over to the history of the Rothschild Mint. The Royal Mint Refinery, 1852 to 1968. Michel Blagg summarizes the history of the Royal Mint Refinery. Some of the most popular images adorning the wall of the Rothschild offices in London are a series of black and white photographs of the gold refining enterprise operated by N.M. Rothschild and Sons between 1852 and 1968 under the trading title of Royal Mint Refinery. As this article will show, the Royal Mint Refinery was a business that required constant adaptation to the changing economic, social, and cultural forces of the 19th and 20th centuries. Very cool. For centuries, both the refining of gold and the minting of coins has been the responsibility of the Master of the Royal Mint, an office created in the 16th century. The mint itself had been located in the Tower of London from the late 13th to the early 19th century, until the demands of the new steam press machinery necessitated a move into new premises at Tower Hill. Concerns and criticisms were frequently raised over the expense and the lack of accountability of the old contract-style system of operation. These operations led to the establishment of a Royal Commission in 1848. Of the many recommendations made by the commissioners, it is that relating to the treatment of unrefined gold entering the country which interests us here. The commissioners proposed that the business should be put out to tender. The prospect of taking on the refining business appealed to the Rothschild family in London. Okay, I'm going to go forward a little bit. Let's see if we can find some more pictures. All right, and there we go. Let's see what the caption is on this. I can't tell if that is gold or silver. I'll just keep on going. These are interesting pictures. There's the Royal Mint Refinery, I guess in the 60s. Oh, it says 52. I'm guessing that's 1952. 16 years before they closed it down. The First World War brought the first real challenges to the fortunes of the Royal Mint Refinery. Despite the significantly reduced level of gold imported to Britain from South Africa, a consequence of wartime disruption to the supply, the refinery survived the years of conflict. The first year of peace, 1919, saw record levels of gold, 10.4 million ounces, passing through the hands of the refinery staff. At the same time, the restoration of London to its pre-war position as the international marketplace for gold was seen as crucial by those in the city. The South African mining companies, whose output amounted to over half of all the world's newly mined gold, and who had channeled their gold to the Bank of England to support Britain's reserves during the war, now sought an agency to market their output. The Bank of England entered into an agreement with the South African mining finance houses for them to ship gold to London for refining prior to being sold through NM Rothschild at the best price obtainable, giving the London market and bullion brokers a chance to bid. However, the refinery's fortunes were to be mixed over the following decades. Pressures were mounting from local producers and mine owners from the establishment of a South African refinery and mint in Pretoria. The new South African refinery subsequently opened in 1922 to the detriment of the Royal Mint Refinery. Gold refining records show a sharp decline from 1922 to an all-time low of 800,000 ounces passing through the Rothschild refinery in 1929. However, there was a slight reprieve for the business following new discoveries of gold in West Africa during the early 1930s, with refining levels rising sharply to just over 12 million ounces for 1932. Royal Mint Refinery, there we go, probably again in the 50s. Promotional material in 1950s linked to industrial exhibitions demonstrated the refinery's efforts to adapt to changing markets. Throughout the 1950s, the refining of gold continues steadily. Nevertheless, as the business operation was streamlined, skilled workers were often redeployed to work in expanding engineering departments, taking with them a wealth of technical knowledge. By 1961, a period of reviews into the activities of the Royal Mint Refinery led to specific areas of the business being sold off to more specialized firms. When in 1965 the copper foil plant was sold to Brush Cleveite, a number of employees moved over to the new company and relocated to Southampton. The remainder of the operation was sold to Engelhard Industries Limited in October 1967. One employee of the company has described the process of deciding whether the trappings of the last 150 years was sent to the new works, scrapped, or sold off. The remaining staff either transferred to the new company, went to work for the main Rothschild business in London, were retired, or opted for redundancy. Early in November 1968, the building at 19 Royal Mint Street stood empty and the factory gates in the building were closed for the last time.